off of what Perk added because it's incredibly important. Nothing was made up. The information that emanated about Zion Williamson, yeah, it came from inside the organization. It came from people even closer than that.
What's good? We're back again with another breakdown. Today we're diving into a tense situation involving Stephen A. and Zion Williamson, where some sharp criticism about Zion's conditioning and whispers coming from inside the organization started heating things up. Hold up, because that pressure eventually pushed Zion to speak out, opening up about the injuries and expectations he's been dealing with behind the curtain. So listen to this. Let's roll the clip and see what really went down.
Back off of what Perk added because it's incredibly important. Nothing was made up. The information that emanated about Zion Williamson, yeah, it came from inside the organization. It came from people even closer than that to Zion Williamson. I'm gonna leave it at that. People that called up and encouraged us to get his ass because of some of the things that he was doing. You got people that are alcoholics, you got people that are drug addicts and stuff like that. What was Zion's problem? Food addict. The joke was everybody in New Orleans that cooked. It could be everybody from a restaurant, a chef, to your grandmama, all right? Anybody that cooked knew about Zion Williamson, and he knew them. They were on a first name basis because that brother ate a lot, okay? You even had rumors, and literally, I'm here thinking it was a joke, and somebody told me to go on the air and point out how he got busted hiding food under his bed. I'm at the top of the heap in this profession and getting paid for it, by the way. And by the way, my popularity is more than anybody you got on your team outside of Zion Williamson. Again, not throwing any shade on the players, just giving you facts. Why am I bringing all of these things up, New Orleans Pelicans? Because you can't about you. We are approaching the tail end of the season. We are in the month of March. Nearly 65 games have been played, and you're still searching for your 20th victory. Y'all are horrible. You've been horrible. Not the city with those wonderful fans, not the city with those wonderful restaurants, not the city with those wonderful people, just the organization that refuses to represent them the way that they should be represented because y'all have been trash. That is the reality of the situation. Where am I getting this from? Allow me to count the ways. You got your research, I got mine. Worth about $3.55 billion right now. That ranks 29th out of 30 teams in the NBA. The only team valued to be less than y'all, at least according to Forbes magazine, is the Memphis Grizzlies, okay? That's number one. Let's go to your stuff on the basketball court. This is your 24th year in the NBA. You used to be the Hornets, now you're the Pelicans. That's two nicknames. That's how many playoff series victories you have in your career in the National Basketball Association. 2 in 24 years. I'm not finished. Regular season ranks 23rd of 30 NBA teams since 2002, 2003. In the month of February, not March, not April, in the month of February, just this past month, you clinched your 15th losing season in 24 years. In 24 years, you've had one season of winning 50 or more games. One. That's it.
Stephen A. is going full throttle right now, claiming the intel about Zion didn't come out of thin air, but straight from people close to him, and even sources within the organization. Listen to this. He's standing on that statement like he's got the receipts. But hold up, because the organization didn't stay quiet. They pushed back publicly on Stephen A.'s accusations, and now it's turned into a full-blown media back and forth that's got everybody watching.
Missed my third year with a broken foot, and there's a lot of criticism on my weight, my care for the game, etc. But the whole time I'm looking at a doctor, and the doctor's telling me, yeah, we're gonna perform this surgery, but if this surgery doesn't work, we really don't know the next step.
Yeah.
So while people are saying what they're saying, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, it is what it is. I'm in Portland rehabbing not knowing if my foot's gonna heal. I'm sorry. And it was frustrating. It was very frustrating, but I was low. I was really low because I just wanted to play basketball. I just wanted to play the game I love, but every time you turn the TV on, every time I check my phone, it was nothing but negative criticism.
I'm not finished. 9 playoff berths in 24 years. 2 playoff series victories, just as many as you have nicknames. You've never been to a conference finals in the franchise's history. That means you've never been to an NBA finals in the franchise history. In 24 years, only 5 teams have never been to an NBA finals. The Clippers, the Timberwolves, the Hornets, the Grizzlies, and you. In that same span, conference finals, only the Hornets and you have never been to a conference finals. But you got the time to clap back at me. Well, if you're gonna do that, at least tell America why. It's the only thing that can make you relevant. You and your social media department felt the need to come back at me and clap back at me because you want to make a statement. You want notoriety. You want publicity. You want to be noticed. Damn it, half the world forgets you have a basketball team. That's how bad y'all have been. Now you're on the come up because Joe Dumars is a winner. And he's going to find a way to turn this thing around. And Zion Williamson, a brother's rooting for you. This is not directed towards you. Trey Murphy, Sadiq Bey, none of y'all towards the players. I'm talking strictly to your social media department and their pathetic. Could you find a basketball reason to be relevant? Could you find a basketball reason to remind us why you should exist? Could you find a basketball reason to remind us why we should care? Could you find a basketball reason to justify charging patrons in the city of New Orleans who you should be giving refunds to because of the product that y'all have put on the floor the last couple of years? Last 8 years, you've been in the playoffs twice. You've been bounced out in the first round each time. But you got an attitude with me and you want to troll me, feel free. Because I'm going to remind you again, I'm 58. I look pretty good. I feel even better. And I can shoot. But I don't get paid to do that. I get paid to do this. Stephen A. Smith, commentator on ESPN.
This whole situation shows just how fast a narrative can explode around a player the moment he's injured and not out there on the court. Listen to this. When a star isn't playing, the speculation starts flying. Stephen A. came in hot talking about Zion Williamson, claiming stories about Zion's eating habits and conditioning were coming straight from people inside the organization and even folks close to Zion himself. Hold up, because according to him, these weren't just random rumors floating around online. He even said there were jokes all over the city about Zion supposedly knowing every restaurant in town and putting away massive amounts of food. Girl, it didn't stop there. Stephen A. repeated stories suggesting Zion allegedly hid food in his room at one point. Now imagine hearing that when you're already under a microscope. Those comments immediately sparked a wave of attention and criticism, especially since Zion has been battling questions about his weight and durability ever since he entered the league, so the pressure was already there before any of this even popped off. Then, the organization fired back by posting clips online that mocked Stephen A., turning the whole situation into a public media back and forth between the team and the press. And you already know Stephen A. wasn't about to back down from that. He doubled down even harder, shifting the spotlight onto the franchise itself and calling out years of losing seasons and a long stretch without real success. So now the conversation isn't just about Zion anymore, it's about the entire organization. Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you hit that like button on this video.